So I saw these kids, like, those like little white piece of shit flowers that are in your lawn. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the ones that blow in the wind and become little spores. I'm talking about like
Dandelions, but not them.
I'm talking about like the little shitty white ones. Like, so there's bees, and they're like playing with the bees. And I was thinking about whenever I was a kid, me and my little brother, because I used to think bees were cute. Right? Me and my little brother would catch them in a cup, and then we had this like transparent, translucent Hot Wheels case. Like it was like a
Okay,
3
yes,
by
I know the
9.
case. Yeah.
Okay, so and it was double sided. So we caught a fuck ton of bees, and I wanted to have a bee hotel. So we would catch these bees and put them in there. We got stung so much, by the way, stung so much. But I made this bee hotel. I was too young to understand that bees needed air and food and like other things probably. So really it was more like Auschwitz.
I was thinking more like a bee cemetery. Like you were preemptively sealing them away.
Yeah. Well, and then, so they obviously all died like the very next day, and I was distraught. But we kept trying. So I probably single-handedly caused the bee shortage that we have like to this day.
Yeah.
I probably decimated one whole colony.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of bees. I don't know if you can really capture that many bees at the decimated colony because like there's like 1,000,000-something bees in one hive.
I'm just thinking about Jackass now. They have a lot of terrible
Bee
things that happen with
related.
bees. Yeah. Well, I'm scared of limos because they had one where they were like, you guys are going to a photo shoot, and they drove to this big empty parking lot, and they didn't know anything was going wrong, even though they were in a big empty parking lot. And they ran up with a whole hive of bees and put it in the sunroof. and then put a bunch of marbles in front of the door, so when they got out, they would trip on the marbles.
The marbles is just like the chef's kiss. That is like the bee thing is like good, but the marbles on the ground makes it seem like a Wile E. Coyote type of situation.
It's so funny because you wouldn't think if there's enough marbles, you are gonna fall down. Like especially when you're running away from, a hive of bees.
Yeah, that'd be so painful. Like that many little glass orbs being embedded in your spine as you fall on the concrete.
Oh my god, this is my new phone. Look at this. It looks like a phone on the webcam,
It does,
doesn't it?
It is a dark square, or not square, rectangle, but it's phone shaped. It's not one of the flip ones, the Z flips that are square.
Whenever I went in, they were like, hey, we only have this in green and black. And I was like, black, obviously. And then when he walked off, I was like, I should have said green. Because I'm thinking about, it doesn't matter now because I had the OtterBox case on it. But I was like, one of the things I hate the most about black phones is that they disappear in the dark. So it's like they vanish if you don't know exactly where they're at.
Mine's white, but my case, it has sharks on it. My case is separating from itself.
Yeah, that's what happened to my old OtterBox. I had to take it apart. I was getting fucking tired of it. There was this one guy, because I was like, give me the OtterBox, and he's like, do you want a screen? And I was like, I don't know. And there was like this old construction worker back behind me who doesn't work there, but he was like trying to upsell me on the screen. Oh, no. He was like, look at this, I lost my screen, now I got a big old scratch on my phone. And I was like, I don't know about that. And then we just started talking about the OtterBox, because one time, I'm in the mail truck, I had my phone on my lap because I'm being irresponsible and texting and sorting mail and stuff, and I took a turn like around a corner, and it just went off of my lap because my door's open, so it's like it just flew out and rattled along on the concrete, and the OtterBox was totally fine. I was thinking about that today because I was like, man, should I have gotten that screen? I don't know. I was going to take, because I was like, I don't have any of my pictures. I need new pictures, so I want the first picture to be of Molly. And I took a picture of her, and the first thing she did was sprint directly at me and then scratch my phone out of my hand. And I was like, ah! I thought it's like really the first thing that happens is my phone screen gets scratched. But no, it's fine.
Classic.
Maybe start the show.
With my case, back when I was working like aircraft maintenance, I carry my phone in my pocket, and the one time I broke it, so when you climb into the back of the planes, there's like, it's like a waist-high wall situation where the floor is almost like nipple height, pretty much. So you have to do like a little push-up to like climb in. I hit my crotch on the door frame as I was climbing in, and I just like cracked the screen of my phone that way because it hit like right at crotch level. So I broke a screen that way. But another way I broke it was just dropping it in my kitchen, just like from like waist level, just dropping it straight on the floor. I broke the back glass of it.
Yeah, it's weird that they're all glass all around. That's the very first day that I took the OtterBox off my old phone. It broke the back
The
glass, and
back
I'm like,
glass. Yeah.
what in the fuck
Why would they even have that?
is the purpose of this?
It doesn't
To
look
sell
good.
OtterBoxes?
Yeah, I know. The cell cases. But since like I can't bring my phone to work or anything anymore, like I mostly just use my phone at home. I really want to get a stupid novelty case. They used to have one that was just Pikachu and had giant fucking Pikachu ears coming off the top of it, and it barely fit in my pocket. But I thought that was like the best case ever, and I had it for like a year, and it was just like a silicone mold. Eventually, one of the ears ripped off, and I just had to get over it. But I really love that case.
I don't want anything. They were like, hey, look, you got a little clip for the OtterBox. I'm like, no, thank you. Like, but look, you turn it to the
Oh,
side, it's a stand. You can watch YouTube. And I was like, I am interested, but I don't want this huge fucking clip on the back of my damn phone.
I don't know, man. There's something about having a giant obnoxious case. It is such a conversation starter because, like, I'll be at like I don't know Squadron PT or something like that, and I'll pull that on my short little gym shorts as a giant Pikachu, and they're like, "Oh my god, look at that phone case!" Next thing you know, I have a crowd, and they're like, "This is incredible."
Speaking
Anyways,
about conversation starters, I have this. So it's sacred symbols. Some of the merch. There's like those bumper stickers that are like George Bush and Osama bin Laden for 2034 presidential election. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
So they have one where it's like Moriarty Raygun 2024. You know what I mean? And it was
yeah.
sitting on my desk, and I was on like a first date with somebody. They came over and they saw it on my desk, and they were like, I saw their face, like, what is that? You know what I mean? Because it looks like a Trump sticker a little bit. So they thought I had a Trump sticker just chilling on my desk as like a statement or something.
A statement to anyone you bring back to the house.
Yeah, it's right here. That's the only reason why I'm thinking about it. Anyway, start the
You're
show.
walking down the street. You're walking down the street literally before the pod. Me, my daughter, and my wife, and Arthur. Well, he wasn't walking. He was being carried because he's a baby, little baby boy. But we saw someone had a flag hanging from them. And my daughter was like, "Oh, is that a Trump flag?" And we looked at it, and it's a Taylor Swift flag.
That looks like...
But it was... And it wasn't the right colors. It wasn't like the bright red, Republican red or whatever, but it was still like the same font, I guess. And I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see it. That's stupid.
I see. You'd be surprised. There's a million people with like in their garages just a bunch of like the don't step snake whatever flag.
Yeah,
and
don't step on snake. Do not the snake.
And I love that. Just do it, and he's got like a ball gag. I love all the variations.
No Steffi snake. All right, whatever. We can start this. Hello and welcome to Gaming Together. Another one I see a lot in San Antonio is the come and take it one with the little cannon.
Oh yeah, I see that on cars all the time. I'm just like, God, people are so fucking cringe.
I don't know what that's from. Is that from like the Alamo or something like that?
Come and take it? I don't know. It just sounds like a fucking one-liner from The Matrix or something.
God. Hello and welcome to Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. I'm your host, Philip, and I'm here with my co-partner, Nave. Each pod, we play through a cooperative experience and relay to you, the listener, if this game is the creme de la creme of co-op or something better off playing solo. You know, Nave, I feel like, I don't know if we're going to leave in that previous segment, but I think we've outed ourselves as not being knowledgeable about American culture.
Yeah, I'm not knowledgeable about culture at all.
Yeah, but hey,
I can tell you about VTubers, though.
Oh, God. Which, dear listener at home, you probably noticed my sound quality is not what it usually is. And Nave is sounding actually really well today. He's sounding great.
Dude, we had so many fucking problems.
No, I mean, yeah, we just had problems. This is day 2 of us trying to record this episode. I'm currently on vacation in Oklahoma. So I'm working at, this is a Burger King Africa situation.
Like, all the people who go on vacation, the first state they think of, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He is not visiting me, though.
No, I mean, I was like, hey, Nave, you want to come over and hang out? And he's like, 2 hours to come see you. And I'm like, Nave, I am serving our country.
So am I!
Oh, my God. I only go on vacation a month out of the year. You can't come drive 2 hours to see me?
Anyway, I lost my phone. I don't remember what the fuck we were just talking about. But I lost my phone. Yeah. Not to extend phone talk, because I'm leaving most of that in, probably.
Oh, God.
I went drinking.
If this is your first episode, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend just came and went to date the podcast, and fucking, it's like the worst thing. So I lost my wallet and my phone, Philip.
Both? Double?
Yeah, the
You fucking
double.
insane?
In 2 different places.
Wait, was it did you have the double case where your phone is your wallet?
No, which
Because I
is
never
why
thought it
I
was a good
don't
idea.
like those. Yeah, it seems like it's like, how do you lose everything important to you in one fell swoop? The only thing that'd be worse is if it attaches your car keys to it too. You know what I mean?
Well, no, some people use their phone to unlock their car now, or they have like the cards for like I know Tesla has like credit cards that unlock the car.
Dude, I'm not subscribing to any of that shit until we get the chip in the hand and I get to fucking force wave,
Oh, dude.
open the
I
door.
mean, I think you can already do that. People like they'll take the smart chips out of their credit cards and put it in like a ring, so then they can just like knuckle touch the scanner and like the gas pump and stuff.
Just fucking fist bump the.
Yeah, you fist bump it and it picks it up.
That's kind of scary, actually. I take it back. I lost my phone. I went drinking with some people like downtown in Oklahoma City on Memorial Day, which sounds like a good time. I dropped my phone at some point in like the walk between like places, and then I left my wallet at the bar. Thank God. And so, wallet was there. I had like $2 in it, so that was still in there. They were probably like, poor son of a bitch.
You're too poor to be robbed.
Yeah, and the thing is that I wasn't that drunk because I was the designated driver. So I don't know what the fuck happened. I was just distracted by the fucking wrangling all my fucking idiot friends. And so I was like, all right, well, this is what happens. This is what happens to good people. But anyways, my phone was a Galaxy S9. It's 2023, and I was rocking the S9. And so that thing kind of ran like a PlayStation 3. You ever use a PlayStation 3 store? Like the online, it's fucking terrible. The infrastructure was bad. That's how my shit ran. And I didn't really notice because I was just like, oh, this is just how technology is. It's slow and annoying. But I plugged I got a Samsung Galaxy at 23 now. I don't think it's numerical. I don't think they went from 9 to 23. I think they just started doing
I'm pretty sure
the Madden thing.
But I don't keep up on the Galaxies, though.
Well, that would be convenient if they got to 23 on 2023. Because I didn't get my phone in 2009. I don't think. It's old, but it's not that old. What was I just saying? I got this new phone. I plugged it into my fucking car because it has like the app, like, it's CarPlay. It plays your music and shit. Instantly starts playing my music. And I'm like, normally that takes like 5 minutes. Normally I'm halfway to my destination by the time my fucking music starts playing. It's so fast, but it's so empty. Like so everyone who listens to the show, they know that I make the thumbnails. I put my dog in every single episode's thumbnail. I lost all my dog pictures. I had like 200 dog pictures that I was flipping through. I lost them all, so I'm just gonna have to like go through my Instagram and screenshot some more. And I took some more pictures of Molly. I think I talked about how earlier my first picture on the phone is of Molly, and it was super blurry because she was running at me like a bullet because I just got home. And Phil was like, "Ooh, Android phone quality, am I right?" Because he's an Apple dickhead. By the way, look, I found my iPad.
Oh, you have an iPad?
Yeah, I found my iPad.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I told this story, but I don't know. Oh, I watched porn for a little bit. I was like, that's pretty cool. And now I'm like, I think because when we're doing Zencastr, it's very dark because Philip blacked out the notes and Zencaster's on like perpetual dark mode, which thank God, good on the eyes. But I don't have like a ring light, so I am also in darkness. I look like an unlockable character in a fucking fighting game. Yeah. And so I figured that if we have a guest, I can put my notes on here and do all kinds of shit, but I don't know what to do with it yet. What are we talking about?
I don't know. We're just kind of bullshitting. But we are a video games podcast, and we are trying to cut out this random bullshit we always do at the top of the hour. And this week we're going to be talking about Civ 6. But before we get there, Nave, what have you been playing?
Did we talk about the fucking problems we went through, or did we just bring it up? We just glossed over it.
Mentioned it. Dear listener, we've been having terrible problems.
Philip's running on his family's Wi-Fi, so not optimized for streaming and stuff. I got throttled for some reason, so my upload speed went from, it's normally like 12 to 20 uploads megabits per second or whatever, and it went to 0.02 for like an entire day on the day of the recording.
Less than 1 is insane. Like, I didn't even know it went that low.
You guys couldn't even hear me speak, apparently. Like, we were trying to record over and over again. And I say you guys because we were supposed to have Aaron from Superpod Saga, and
rest in peace, Aaron.
Okay, yeah, so rest in peace, Aaron. His electricity just went out because about 30 minutes before we decided to record, a tree got blown over. I don't know if a bird hit it, flying too fast, going at it or whatever, but it went and knocked down his fucking power lines. And so he's like, I guess I'll just see you guys when I see you. And I'm just like, damn, dude. This is a cursed-ass episode. It's been a minute since we had a cursed-ass episode.
It's crazy. Like it wasn't until we actually needed to like set appointments to record things that all of a sudden it's like people start having power outages and things just start failing all the time. Like I feel like it never really happened like that before. I just didn't
I don't
notice.
know.
It never affected me.
I don't even know what happened yesterday. That's a lie. I just spent fucking 20 minutes talking about what happened to me yesterday. But yesterday was traumatic. So, I didn't think about, because I'm like, it's just a phone. Who gives a fuck? I barely even pay attention to that thing anyway. And then I was lying in bed and I had tears in my eyes because I realized I'd lost all those pictures. And then when I got to the place, they were like, hey, it might have backed up. And then the background of my phone is the old background that I had on my old phone. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get my pictures back. No,
Oh man, which is
no.
weird because you even pay for like a Google Drive, which I think that includes like the Google Photo Sync thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't use Google Photos. I use Samsung Photos.
I don't even know that was a thing.
It's because it's a Samsung phone. So I'm using the default Photos, which is Samsung Photos. It's like it's not called Samsung Photos, it's just called Gallery, but it's like I think Google Photos is its own thing, like Google
Oh, it is.
Drive and Google
Yeah, that makes
Docs and stuff.
sense.
So I wasn't using that, so that thing didn't get backed up, which is good because I don't want all my fucking penis pictures on the fucking internet right now. That's not what I need.
Not right now. All right, Nate,
Maybe
what
when
have you
we
been
open the
playing this week?
OnlyFans. Oh yeah, I've been playing Turok 2, which is fucking great. I never beat this game. I'm gonna be on a specific Nintendo 64 themed podcast probably in the near future to talk about this game. And wow, this game is kind of hard to play. Like as far as being oriented and stuff, I'm getting the Doom and Wolfenstein and all these old shooters, like directional. What I can't find my fucking way is what I'm trying to say. So I've started
Yeah,
to pop into a couple of guides here and there, and the game itself is super fucking fun. So the game got remastered by Night Dive Studios, so everybody needs to go and play it. There's some things that got added to it that improve the experience. Like you can now vault over like chest, like if you can jump up to your fucking titties, you can vault over the wall. There's also markers that show you where objectives are, so you don't have to run your face on things. But it's a really cool game, and super fun. I probably would recommend playing on the PC though, because mouse and keyboard, those ye old shooters. But the game is totally competent on high sensitivity on the Xbox, and you can even change the field of view. So I was messing with the field of view for a little bit. I started to get motion sickness. I turned it like to 120, like I was like fish eyes, and I
yeah,
was
you're a
like,
wide boy.
this game is so fast now, but I am starting to feel woozy. I don't know what the fuck. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that sounds pretty cool.
Turok 2, pretty cool. I've also still been playing Cookie Clicker from when I got bored last episode.
Does it
It
have an
turns out,
ending?
yes, it's still getting like updated and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it has an ending after like
Years.
17 months of playing the game,
Yeah.
unless you're playing it optimally, which I'm not. But there is a stock market. And dude, I am addicted to this fucking stock market, dude. Like I am constantly trading sugar cubes and eggs and shit. I'm like fiending for a huge dopamine rush.
Well, remember, you never lose money until you sell at a loss, right?
I don't know.
So just hold
I
on.
don't. I
Hold
do
on.
not make money. I do not make
Diamond
money.
hands, monkey.
GameStop. Tears of the Kingdom. Pretty fun. Haven't played too much of it. I'm playing Cookie Clicker and Turok, so I'm a
Oh,
little
you.
busy. But Tears of the Kingdom is really cool. And I've just now started fusing stuff and like experimenting with that. I'm still like in the tutorial zone ish. You know what I mean? I need to go to like the very last thing, but I just started fucking around, like just because you can like get your weapon and like glue another weapon to it. And I'm like, I've got the double sword, and it's like I don't know how this works, but it's stronger now. It's
Well,
really cool.
I've seen some really cool videos from some of the stuff. Like one of the more interesting ones I saw was like people threw with the giant boomerang, and then they would catch it in midair and then hold it like a lawnmower blade and use it to just eviscerate the little moblins. They just chop them to pieces with it like a lawnmower, and I'm like, that's awesome. I also saw people talking about like there's already like a meta like machine that's just if you just take a steering column and two fan blades and put them like a bicycle, and then you, like from there you can just attach anything you need to the back of it. Like if you need to transport a Korok or anything like that, and it's like the cheapest, most efficient transport you can make.
The
And I'm like,
speedrunners are
wow,
getting a hold of it
that
already.
yeah, that makes sense, I guess. This turned into a Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts situation where the most efficient thing is literally like a single engine with wings and a claw, and you can complete most missions with that.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that when you can build
It's
a
not.
fucking the Big O robot?
True, true. What else have you been playing? Or you got more Tear of the Kingdom talk?
No, not really. I turned Anodyne on because I bought Anodyne 2, and I was like, I don't know why I bought Anodyne 2 because I knew I hadn't played the first one, and it seems like a Risk of Rain situation where these two games are very different like styles of games, which I enjoy. Just recently, Helldivers got the PlayStation showcase, whatever. Helldivers 2 showed up, and they also did the Risk of Rain 2 thing, where the first game was like a top-down game, and this game's going to be a third-person shooter.
Yeah.
I really like it whenever indie games succeed and they're able to like up that budget and stuff. Anodyne 2 just looked like a PlayStation 1 Nintendo 64 game, which has really been like my zone right now. I'm really wanting to like kind of tap into that nostalgia since my entire life is like a fucking roller coaster. And Anodyne 2 is like a SNES game, in which case, I mean, it's annoying the fucking shit out of me. And so I don't even know if I'm going to get
Yeah.
it through that. I got to this part where you unlock how to jump, and I had to fucking jump over. I fucking hate 2D platforming, but I had to jump over these two stupid rolling spiky things over this pit and like maneuver around, and I'm just so impatient. And when you get hit, you fall down, and then you spawn at the beginning, so you have to start all over. And so what I'll do is I'll just fucking try to Super Meat Boy, but it doesn't work because it's not the same pattern over and over again. It's like they're always in different spots when you respawn. Got really fucking aggravated. I'm pretty sure I got past that part, but afterwards I was like doing something kind of mundane, like a little boring, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I could be playing Tears of the Kingdom and Cookie Clicker right now. And so that's what I decided to do before I got roped into Turok 2.
Nice. Anodyne, I own it as well. I remember starting it, but never finishing it. And I saw
It's
you
very
playing it, and
cute.
I'm like, what a pull from a game that I assume we both bought 15 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case too. And it's weird because it's very cute because like your weapon is a broom and everyone like kind of takes note. Like they're like, "Oh, okay, this guy. All right, well, if you can
You got a
help, I
broom.
guess." And it's also like they're like they like there's this stone that you talk to and it's like you don't talk to it but you read it and it's like talk to NPCs more than once because they have more things to say, and then you can talk to that stone again, and then it says, but stones don't because stones don't talk, and that's the only one
Oh
that
god.
has. And I'm just like, oh, I think I'm gonna like this game, and then like 3 hours later, I'm trapped in a fucking dungeon, but the
Speaking of
vibe is
cute
really
little
cool.
things, I saw something I'd never seen in Stanley Parable for the PC where
The new
I
one or like the older one?
I think it's the newer one where you
Yeah,
can
probably.
go in to the files in it and turn on cheats in like the configuration or something like that. And if you do it when you start up the game, it puts you into a cheat room and it like locks you in the room and basically gives you a big speech about why cheating is bad and devalues the game. And I'm like, oh, I've never seen this interaction before, but I thought it was pretty cool. And it makes
I
you restart the game.
Dude, everybody needs to play the Stanley Parable, not just on PC, because I don't know how you would do that on Xbox,
I don't
but
know how. That's it. I feel like I've only seen I don't know like Xbox play of it.
yeah, that's big depresso mode. Stanley Parable's real quick way to my heart. But what have you been playing? I think we just went through all my games.
Okay, so I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet since I'm on the go, and I've been just playing games I can play on the go.
That's the
And
Switch one, right?
yeah, it's
The one
Switch.
that I have.
Yeah,
I
it's
have the
Scarlet and
purple one.
Violet. You got Wheel Dog, and I got Caveman Flintstones Running Dog, or the dragon that you ride on.
Oh, the motorcycles.
Yeah, the motorcycle dragons. One runs while the other one actually rolls on wheels, even though
Yeah, I
both have
got the
wheels.
motorcycle.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been playing that. It's pretty good. I really enjoy Poison Quagsire opposed to Groundwater Quagsire, which for the
What does
record,
that
dear
mean?
listeners at home, Quagsire is my favorite Pokemon. In this region, Quagsire is a poison type instead of groundwater.
Wait, is Quagsire's the Wobbuffet, right?
No, well, he's the other the thing that looks like Wobbuffet but dumber.
What? But Wobbuffet's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, but Wobbuffet has
Wobbuffet's
like this.
literally a punching bag, but upside down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Wobbuffet, the Pokemon's actually his little black tail with eyes, and the rest of it is just like an inflated balloon sack.
Dude, did you see that post I put on Instagram like forever ago where it's just, when your Pokemon evolves, it's like, what? Your Pokemon is evolving, but it's just the whatever Wobbuffet's before. You know what I mean? The pre-evolution of Wobbuffet.
Oh yeah. Oh, what is that? Why not? And
Why not?
Wobbuffet.
But it's got
Yeah.
this stupid fucking look on its face, and it just says "what," and it doesn't say the rest. It's so
Yeah.
fucking funny. Oh god.
Yeah, that's dumb. But Pokemon Scarlet's good. I'm enjoying it, even though it does run at a solid 18 frames a second. If
We
that.
need to can we do a fucking Nuzlocke? You need to look into it. We'll see if we can, that'll be the game that we Nuzlocke.
Oh man, that feels brutal, but yeah, I'll look into it.
It seems long. Are there any on the Nintendo Plus, Superstars subscription?
No, I don't pay
Pokemon
for the
games?
subscription.
Like,
No,
are
I
there
don't think there's any
Pokemon games?
Pokemon games.
Damn them.
I think they just added some decent Nintendo 64 games or something like that.
Yeah, they just added something. I just can't fucking remember. I never checked.
Right. But the next game I want to talk about is a tie into my backlog buster that I beat this week. I beat Coffee Talk, the first one. It's my 44th game this year. And it's really good, Nave. I know you talk about Valhalla a lot. And playing Coffee Talk makes me want to play Valhalla, even though I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I want to play. You want to do a get wrecked style fucking? Let's just steal another podcast idea from another better podcast
Dude,
than us.
use the same title scheme and everything.
Yeah, or it's
Yeah.
it's just the word spelled normally. Oh god, be a good April Fool's joke. But yeah, just you play Valhalla, I'll play Coffee Talk, and
Coffee
I'll
Talk is
seriously
really
take it
simple though.
seriously.
Like, I don't even know how to describe Coffee Talk. Like, you can't fail, but you get more content the better you do at mixing drinks.
That is
Like, there's
exactly
no
how Valhalla
decision.
is.
Like, well, I mean, I guess you could choose to make the drinks poorly, but you're making cafe drinks, not alcoholic beverages. So it's,
Wait, I think you can fail in Valhalla actually because you have to pay your rent. And if you are fucking up the entire time, then you're not going to make enough money to pay the rent.
there's
But
no money in this one. Instead, you
gotcha.
just listen to lo-fi beats. But I finished the first
That's
one,
nice.
and I instantly started up the second one, Coffee Talk 2, Hibiscus and Rainwater or something. I don't know the subtitle. But man, this one's
Bay
it's just
leaves
more
and
Coffee Talk.
suffering.
They added a new mechanic where you have to, like, people will forget something's in the bar, in the coffee shop. Like, it'll be like somebody left their wallet, and then you have to remember who came in that day, and you look at the wallet and you're like, I'm pretty sure it's this guy's wallet. Because,
So
like,
what is
you
it,
don't
like
want to.
papers, please?
Kind of. And so then you can guess to give somebody the wallet. And you like just when you hand them their drink, you can hand them the wallet at the same time. And they're like, "Oh man, this is my wallet. Thanks, man." And you're like, "Yes, I'm simply one hell of a butler," or whatever. And they're like, "Thank you so much, man." But there's been a couple points where I just forget to give people things, and eventually your character just opens up his junk drawer, and he's like, "Man, what is all this junk?" And he just throws it away. Like if you missed your opportunity to give it to the right person. What always sucks too is like you can only give it when you give a drink as well. So if like there was a one point where I gave somebody a drink and then I went and I looked in the junk drawer and I'm like, oh, there's this dude's car keys, but I already gave him his drink, so I can't give him his car keys. And I'm like, this sucks. Like that really
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh, I
But
like that I like that it like gets rid of the things as you fail it
yeah,
because that lets you kind of like rewind. Like if you're saving like well
saves
enough, I don't know how
you
to
can.
saving.
There's save slots, so you can have multiple saves, and you
Right
be like, no, I
on.
missed it. Go back a day.
Valhalla's the same way, except you can't save at any time. I think you have to like there are moments where Jill goes on break and then you can save then, and like it chops the levels up. But oh fuck, dude, I lost what I was gonna say. That's so annoying. Whatever. What were you talking about?
I mean, I'm just really enjoyed Coffee Talk, and I'm enjoying the second one. I'm playing it cloud on my phone as well, which is a fantastic way to play it.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good way to play that game.
Another thing, like this isn't what I've been playing this week, but I did want to mention, dear listener at home, if you enjoy podcasts and want to listen to a better podcast than ours, go listen to Dungeons and Daddies. Because
oh my god,
I was
dude.
the other
It's so
morning,
good.
like I was staying with the in-laws, and they live in McAllister and like outside of town and like country road and all that. And so I got Arthur strapped to me, and I'm just walking down a country road listening to Dungeons and Daddies. And it was the episode about Ron's childhood, if you remember
Oh
that one.
shit. Oh,
And
what?
where we get to meet his childhood dog Rogue and his father and his mother. And man, I was crying by the time I got down that country road with how moving that episode was.
Dude, it was really good, wasn't it? It's wild, the range of that
It's
show.
insane how good they are. It's insane how good that show is. But I won't go on too farther. Dear listeners at home, play Coffee Talk, play Pokemon Scarlet, listen to Dungeons and Daddies while you play Pokemon. Probably
Dude,
not Coffee Talk.
twice that fucking show has gotten me crying laughing. Like, I am laughing so hard that tears are forming in my eyes.
I get that, but then they also literally make me cry tears of sadness out of my eyeballs.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, sad things happen to good
Sad
people.
things do
I don't know if
indeed
they're
happen.
good, actually.
No, they're all everyone's generally not very good people, but they don't deserve it.
So you're pretty deep in. Who's your favorite dad now? Do you know who your favorite dad was at the beginning and now who it is now? Can you compare?
Okay, at the beginning, my favorite dad was definitely Coach Dad. What's his name?
Well, fuck, dude. Why'd you put me on the spot? I could have told you if you didn't ask.
Okay, look. All right, there's Ron. There's Glenn. There's Henry. There's
and the one you asked me, I can't fucking remember.
Oh man,
Daryl Wilson.
Daryl Wilson.
Yeah,
put
and
it
he
there.
puts his hands
and he holds
out.
His hand. Yeah, he goes for a handshake. God, he was my favorite dad, and he's still my favorite dad at this point. Like this has turned into a Dungeons and Daddies fan cast, but I loved him. I've hated Henry this whole time because there will be times where Henry starts talking and I will hit the skip button because I am just so tired of hearing Henry talk. Even though the problem is, I'm pretty sure he's doing it as a goof. He's trying to be the most obnoxious dad.
Well, yes, they're all role playing.
He's killing me with how obnoxious he is to listen to. Same thing, not the same thing, but Glenn is so stupid, especially when he pulls out his human gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why has no one stopped this guy? And then they finally all get it together, and then Ron's like, guys, what if we could just put more pants on him so that he gets too many pants and then he can't go pee and he pees his pants or something like that. And I'm like, God, you guys are killing me.
It's so funny because it's like I love everything you're describing. I love about the characters. So I'm also the same as you, where this character that I liked at the beginning is still the character that I like at the end. And that's Glenn Close. I fucking love Glenn.
Dude,
he goes through of the group. Dude, he goes through the fucking arc, dude.
Does he?
He goes through
he's stayed true to himself more than any other character.
Well, when I say arc, he does go through character development, but what I mean is that he is the main character of the show. It is clear when you're like, oh, okay, this is the Goku arc for him. You know what I mean? It's pretty fucking cool. I hope that's not a spoiler. This is a fucking Dungeons and Daddies spoilcast, though. But yeah, Glenn Close is fucking awesome. And I love Henry, how obnoxious he is, because he makes everyone around him mad at him. And so it's not that I like what Henry's saying, it's that I like how everyone reacts to what Henry's saying. And it's fucking great.
He just says, he's the worst dad, even though he tries the hardest to be a good dad out of all the dads, but he's the worst. God. Anyways, besides that, Nave, what did you buy?
Anodyne 2, I talked about that already. And I bought Warhammer Bolt Gun.
Bolt Gun, this was the FPS retro game, right?
Yeah, it looks fucking great. And now I've been seeing people play, I've been seeing gameplay, and everyone's like, oh, this is just as good as it fucking looks. And I'm like, oh, perfect, bam, buy it right now, full price. And I also, I bought my phone and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit in the hole. I didn't know I was going to lose my phone. But, I'm worse in the hole now because I bought fucking Galaxy headphones. You know what I'm talking
Dude, like,
about?
no, what are Galaxy headphones?
Like it's like iPod, I what are they called? iPhones? No, I mean I headphones. What are the iPhones called?
Are you talking about iBuds?
Is that what they're called? That's terrible.
I don't
iBuds.
know.
I
No,
don't
that's
know.
probably not it. My daughter has a pair, but I have
AirPods.
like, oh,
That's
AirPods.
it.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
the meme. Oh, he's got his AirPods in.
Look at, he's got his AirPods in.
Oh no.
I make that
Um.
joke all the time. Classic.
Uh, I got the Galaxy. I got the Galaxy
Galaxy
Buds
Buds.
Pro or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. How
And they
are
were
they?
like $180.
I know we've talked about, okay, this is now product chat or whatever about headphones. We've talked about wireless headbuds before, and you recommended
Raycons.
Raycons. Yeah. Like, how do these compare?
I think the Raycons are a little bit more comfortable, but these are already like, I mean, they're way more expensive. So I don't know if that's coloring the way I think about it, but they are a lot more like luxurious because there's no physical button. It's touch. So you tap it instead of like pushing in a button over and over again. So I think that's pretty cool. And like I used the like I fucked around with the thing. First of all, there's like an app and like there's a widget I can just put straight on my phone. And so
Yeah.
like I can like fuck with the headphones. I don't know if that's just normal for iPhone people. I don't know. But
It depends. Usually you need like a third party setup because like mine, I have a, what are they called? I have a Jabra, which I don't know if you've heard of that band or that brand, but those are my headphones that I've used, my wireless ones.
oh yeah, the acid rock band Jambra. There's like a noise canceling thing, which is fucking sick. And I was like, I'm just gonna turn on YouTube, then turn the noise canceling on and see what like turn on YouTube on my Xbox, listening to music on my thing, and it's pretty fucking wild. And then there's the awareness mode where I can hear shit. And I've never experienced this. I'm pretty sure Raycons have this, and I just had no idea how to turn it on because I didn't have like an app or anything. But it's really weird because like if you haven't used like wireless headphones in the modern day, there is an awareness mode that turns your microphone on, and then sounds enter your microphone and play while
Yeah.
your music and shit is playing, and it is so weird. Like it is reverse noise cancellation. It's so fucking strange, and I can't wait to do it because one weird thing when I have both headphones in, which I usually don't because I like to hear what the fuck's going on around me. And also, if both of them die at once, then I have to sit in silence with my thoughts, and that scares me. I would rather never have that happen to me. That's like my personal hell. I always have like one headphone in, but like I feel weird when I have two headphones in because I feel like I hear like schizophrenia. I hear someone go, "Hey," because I'm expecting.
Oh yeah.
I'm like
Know what you
expecting
mean.
that to happen, and then I drive off looking like an asshole while an old lady's trying to give me a fucking OG&E bill or something. That's where our energy is
Yeah.
from in Oklahoma. But I think that if it feels like we've been wandering for a little bit, it's because we're kind of wasting time just in case Aaron gets his power turned back on, and I think that it's on. Waiting for my writer if there's any time. Okay, so Aaron is waiting. So you got anything you want to say before he's here and ruins the party?
I am also on single earbud gang, even though my phone also has the awareness mode or whatever. Jana, she'll just put both earbuds in and will not turn on an awareness mode or whatever. And I'm like, what are you doing? What if you get killed? But all the time,
Then I'll die.
yeah, I never have both earbuds in at the same time.
It's like those TikToks that are like WYD in this situation, and it's a moon crashing into the earth, and you're like, what? What do I do? I don't know.
The other classic one is like, would you still love me if I was half of an Eggo waffle laying by the trash can?
Oh my god. It's like, no, I don't want to marry a worm. Are you fucking joking? If I turn into a worm, I hope you stop loving me. Like, move on with your life.
All right. Let's take a quick break and see if we can get Aaron in here. Yeah.
You remember what we were talking about before?
And we're back. No, I don't. But I do remember we went to a Mexican restaurant today and and my mom ordered roasted jalapenos. I've never had roasted jalapenos before. And she's like, "Oh, Philip, you gotta have one." And so she cut one in half and gave me half of it. I then took that and halved it and gave half to my wife, and then I ate the other half. And of course, I was trying to be tough as I ate it, and I instantly started crying as the inside of my mouth just caught on fire, and tears are just streaming out of my face. My face turns bright red, and my kids are laughing at me, and I'm like, It's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. And then my oldest, my 15-year-old Boodles, she's like, "Oh, I want some," and I'm like, "Okay," And then Jana gives her half of a half of a half to her. She eats it, chews it for like 2 seconds, and then spits it out and starts like scraping her tongue with like a paper towel, trying to get it off, and then runs to the bathroom. And we don't see her for like 10 minutes. She comes back and she can't even eat her food that she ordered because it messed her up that bad. And it wasn't that bad. So I still got like tears coming down my face, and I just eat my nachos as I cry.
Dude, I went to eat Thai food. You remember Mason from Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
Not important to the story, only important for Philip. But he was sit across from me, and we both got this it's like Bangkok fried rice, like chicken with a whole bunch of shit in it. It's delicious, dude. But he was like, I want the extra spice. I want the extra spice.
No.
And so, because he's like, oh, I love spicy food. And he gets like maybe an eighth through, and he's like, this is pretty hot. Like, it's like to the point where he can't speak anymore. He's like, this is pretty hot. I'm like, and I can just smell it, and it's like ruining my experience. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's like opened my nostrils up wider than they've ever been opened before. I'm like starting to have a runny nose, and he's sitting across the table from me. I can't handle spice at all.
Yeah, me either. And I thought this was like a chili relleno situation where you just eat the pepper, but no, like they're like, oh, you're supposed to put it like on your food. You're supposed to like eat it with your food. You're not supposed to just eat, half a jalapeno. So
yeah,
that was fun.
Evolution tried to teach us that we weren't supposed to eat those things.
Oh, but dear listener, we're back, I guess. Aaron's not going to make it. Apparently his internet's still down, even though his power has been returned. So rest in peace, Aaron, again.
R.I.P. in peace. For real this time.
But we're back. At this point, I want to thank our patrons. Thanks, Insane Cracker, Nick and Night, Household, Michael Superbacker, and the Intellect Pinecone. With your support, we can work on our side shows, which we seem to be taking another week off of because I'm not in town.
Kind of hard when you're on vacation. Also, go give us some ratings, some reviews. We'll read the reviews online. We'll read them on air, even. We'll do all the things that you guys need to do.
We were featured on another listicle on Good Pods.
Yeah, so we're in 2. I forgot to put that in the news too. We were in 2 little articles now. That's pretty cool. One from Jordan on CompleteXbox.uk, and then now on Good Pods because they interviewed Aaron, the guy who fucking ditched us.
The guy that didn't make it in. He might be biased now. Actually, I don't know. I didn't realize it was connected to him. I didn't read it.
They interviewed him, and they asked him his top 5 gaming podcasts, and we were number 5.
Nave, did you do a Twitter?
Yes.
And it was, what is your favorite race?
There's another, yes. Which race is the superior race?
Yeah.
We're on, speaking of superior races, remember 64 put out an episode 27 on Majora's Mask, and we got featured in it. We had a little blurb about a 5 to 10 minute part where we fucking completely derailed the episode, Philip, because the episode was pretty serious until we showed up and just started talking about, what the fuck, do you remember what we were talking about? We started talking about dreams, my nightmares, about how the sun explodes and stuff. We were supposed to be talking about the Majora's Mask.
I don't remember. Well, I mean, our prompt was pretty loose. It was like, hey, we need 5 minutes about Majora's Mask, and we gave him about 2 minutes about Majora's Mask, and then 3 minutes of us just talking about whatever.
Yeah, like Ben drowned in creepypastas, which, oh, dude, there's a fucking Doom WOD, dude. Have you seen this shit?
Doom
it's called
WOD?
My House. Yeah, WOD. That's like what the maps are called. Yeah, I can't remember what it stands for. But I actually think it's the file type, like .wad.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for the fan-made levels.
So there's a new one called My House or something like that, and it's supposed to be like, he's like, oh, my best friend from high school died, and I went to the house, and his mom gave me these floppy disks, and on these floppy disks there's a bunch of like WADs, and this one specifically was his own house recreated. So I'm gonna like spruce it up, splice it together, whatever, and put it out there for you guys to play in honor of my friend. And he put like an obituary and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, this shit looks legit. And then like you play the WAD, and like it's really cool. Like it's like you clear the house because it's got demons in it, and then you leave, and then when you look back in the house, there's more demons, and every time you keep like going through the house, it like changes a little bit. It's really fucking cool. Go look up playthroughs. Some ordinary gamer, old based Muda. He has a pretty good synopsis of it where he talks about the different endings. There's like endings and lore in the fucking WADs and stuff like that. It's really interesting and cool. But there are actually like extended plays where like people are playing for like 2 hours. Like, you know, you're seeing their real time like thought processes as they're going through. And it's a really advanced WAD apparently. So it's really cool. And it's all spooky.
Yeah, you gave me chills just with the initial description. Like any stuff like, oh, and this was a Game Boy that belonged to a guy that died in a car accident. I'm like, oh my god. Like, slow down. Like, you tell me this is going to be a ghostly cursed Game Boy because he was playing Yoshi World or whatever?
Yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World on Game Boy Advance SB.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it's like you load up his save file and he named himself ass. You're like, oh man, I'm spooked. I can't do this.
It's so cool back whenever you would like go to GameStop and get a Pokemon cartridge and see like people nicknaming their Pokemon though, and you're just like flipping through them, like trying to put your own lore into that, and right before you eradicate the save from history.
But of course you got to check and see what they got on there.
Usually is nothing. What was I supposed to be doing? The Twitter?
The Twitter? Yeah.
I am so deep on Twitter right now. I've been scrolling for quite a while now. I've got to
we
go
were waiting for
Aaron.
You're scrolling the internet, sharing dumb videos to each other. Videos about people doing pro pranks, such as setting off fireworks on public transportation, or trying to catch public transportation and running into street signs.
Yeah, there's this one where these guys roll a really big rock down a hill and it fucking obliterates a tree, which is like it might be what happened to Aaron's power lines. He sent me a picture, Philip. Yeah, he sent me a picture. Wait, can I copy paste this picture?
Maybe in Discord. And now let me do a image search on Google to see where he got this picture from.
Oh my god, if we catch Aaron lying to us live on fucking broadcast. Oh, Aaron, your ass is mine. Aaron, your ass is mine, Aaron. You see it?
Or we were playing Batman Detective Pikachu in this photo.
Yeah.
I see them messed up. Yeah, that's definitely a tree and some power lines. I don't know why we bothered to go through that exercise in examining the evidence. But you win this time,
I was talking about something. Oh, I was talking about the rock hitting the fucking tree.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we were talking about. That was a funny video. The Google, the Twitter. All right, fuck, dude. Stop distracting me. All right, so I wrote some shit. Nobody replied, so the shit doesn't matter. But the poll exists. The poll exists for us to analyze. We got 10 votes. And I said, what is your preferred route to victory? I phoned it in again. Domination, science, cultural, or religion. Philip, which one do you think got the least amount of votes?
Okay. Nobody cares about religion. It was kind of tacked on to Civ 5. No one's going to really worry about spreading peanut butter across the world or whatever. So I don't think that one's going to win it. And domination, while it sounds cool, is actually the most obnoxious way to play the game. So I think people are really going to be into science victory.
Are you fucking looking at the tweet right now?
No, that's just what I would vote for.
All right, so 4th place religion, 0%. 3rd place domination, 20%. 2nd place cultural, 30%. With cultural, I think domination's easier than culture. I think culture is the hardest one. Yeah, you have to get more tourism than every other fucking country.
Well, it's not combined. You get a lot of like great works and wonders.
I really think I was gonna go for a cultural victory, but I'm pretty sure I was closer to science. Science is by far, I think, the easiest one to do because it literally just means just turtle and like just try and stay alive for as long as you can. The AI usually like turns on you whenever you start getting so far in science. You know what I mean?
Oh, they do. They
start going full warmonger. Anyway,
all right. So I don't think we need to take a break, so we can go right into it. But this is Civ 6. Developed by Fire Access, who does Civilization. Published by 2K Games, that does Civilization. Released back in 2016. This game's a little bit of an oldie.
They're still getting content, though. I think I think it was a few months ago that they just released more like civs that you could play.
Which interesting thing with the DLC, it has I think 3 DLCs at this point. In the latest one, where it says Sid Meier's and it has like the apostrophe S, they either changed the font or instead of having just the apostrophe, it's just like a single line now. So it looks just like it's a straight line, whereas the rest of them have the curve in the font. So everyone's like, the series is dead. Like,
Is this interesting? Where are you finding this information from? Reddit?
Yeah, I found it on Reddit.
Of course it was Reddit.
Yeah, I'm not going to look for that. Story description. Civ 6 is the newest installment in the award-winning Civilization franchise. Expand your empire, advance your culture, and go head-to-head against history's greatest leaders. Will your civilization stand the test of time? Question mark. $60 Steam store, but currently $6 on sale. It's on sale for $6. That's like 90% off.
Hell yeah, you guys go back in time whenever this episode airs, and it's probably not on sale anymore.
It's not going to be. But Epic Store gave this away at one point. I don't remember when, but I think I might own this.
Oh, really? Already. It's on Game Pass, but I think this game goes on sale regularly, like the base edition. I think I own 2 of the 3 big expansions of this game, which like physically change the rules of the game. It's really cool. I think one adds like disasters and stuff, and the other one adds
I saw that.
Oh, it's really fucking cool. We tried to play one of the DLCs just out of curiosity, and it wouldn't let Philip progress. So Philip had to host the lobby because it like when you set the game up, there's so many fucking words. I don't know what the fuck's going on. My eyes just glaze over.
So much, yeah. So history or preconceptions with the series. I played the crap out of Civ 5. I should have gotten my hours on it, but it's probably one of my most played games, and Civilization Revolution. So. You know, I'm a big Civ fan. I say big Civ fan. I'm a big new Civ fan because I was a baby when the original ones came out back on, I don't know, the Amiga computer or whatever. I don't know what the original was on. But I really enjoyed 5 and Revolution.
I want to go look at it. Hold on.
What, original Civ? Or your time in Steam?
Our time in Civ 5. Yeah, I'm going to go look while you're talking.
Okay. So that was basically my experience. This newest one, we dropped in, and I was even like kind of goofing Nave, where I was like, oh, you know, like, let's get in here. You know, you can start playing and start getting a feel for it, Nave. I didn't realize Nave already had 50 hours in the game of Civ 6. And so I only have 8 hours at this point because me and Nave played for one night, and then I played another day on my own before I went on vacation. And it looks like Nave is now putting in the hours for Civ 5, which I have 114 hours in Civ 5, and Nave has 97. So we played like the crap out of these. Yeah, this is a game we actually really enjoy playing.
Yeah, it's a shame that we didn't get to play any more of it.
It's kind of funny. We've talked about Civ as a franchise multiple times in the history of the pod. I think like episode 1 we talked about it.
Yeah, because we're like when we were like discussing what a co-op game is. I think. I don't know. This is one of those kind of evergreen kind of games too, but it's like we've always had Civ 6 in our back pocket. Like we're like we know this is going to be a slam dunk. We're going to love this game. And the way that we played this game was pretty cooperative. Like we played in a tiny world because we knew Philip was going on vacation. We didn't have too much time, and so we played a tiny world with 4 civs. Me, Philip, 2 computers, and me and Philip were basically teaming up, and then the 2 computers were just kind of doing whatever they wanted, what ended up happening was me and Philip were at war with one of the 2 computers at all times.
We were like separated by the computers. So I was at war with one, which was beating my ass. Well, meanwhile, Nave was wrecking this other guy that he was at war with.
So here's the thing. I was doing a culture thing, like I preluded earlier, and I'm pretty sure that's how you get the city-state emissaries or whatever. Those like people that you send to the city-states so that you control them. So I controlled like all of the city-states on my half of the globe. And whenever the other civilization that was next to me declared war on me, because I was literally like putting cities next to his place just to take up space on this tiny little continent that we had. He ended up being in war with all the city-states, and then I had no military, but every city-state just started beating him to death. And I was just like, oh, this is great. And he kept trying to make peace with me and try to give me cities and stuff. I was like, no, dude. No, you're fucked. You're dead, dude. Fuck you. And I'm not going to build anything. I'm going to build a couple of gunmen that just chill in my cities that are on your border. And then I'm just going to continue to build the Mona Lisa and shit.
Yeah, you're doing great on the culture on that one. Meanwhile, I had no clue what I was doing. It was incredibly inefficient, and my neighbor had guns, and I still had crossbowmen. So they were like, oh, we had like mechanized infantry at one point, or like a troop transport that just drove up in my place, and I'm like, oh my god. Meanwhile, I have cannons at this point, and he just like one shots my cannons, and I'm like, ooh, Dave, this is not going well over here.
Yeah.
This is bad.
And then we just ended up in Operation Get Philip Some Money. Like, and so I just started like sending all of my trade routes that way, and like I was like negotiating with you. Which, by the way, the entirety of this fucking game until maybe the last like 20 turns, I never checked my notifications. Like, I just fucking forgot they existed. And so we had a timer, and I was constantly running out of time. The whole game, I was like running out of time. I had like 15 cities. Like, I was procreating, dude.
Yeah, even though, before we get too far away from it, even though I was getting slapped by this guy, I was so wealthy, I guess, because I had a crap ton of gold from you always trading with me. I was able to continuously assault one of his cities, and I was wrecking his one city so bad that, no, I wasn't even wrecking it. Like, it was barely getting chipped. I was doing like 1% damage each round on it. And then he was massacring like my guys with his mechanized infantry inside the city. He just shoots my crossbowmen from the city. I'm like, oh my god, we're getting slapped. And then out of nowhere, he offers me peace. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let's do peace. And then he's like, I will give you this city that you've been sieging this whole time. And I'm like, what? No way. Let me check the map. I checked the map and I'm like, yep, that's the city I'm sieging. I then went back into the deal and he's like, hold on. And he changed the deal on me. And he said, what if we just call it even? And I'm like, okay, I guess we can just call it even. But because the deal disappeared, and I was so mad because I'm like, I just spent the last 20 turns, like the last 100 years of my nation's history has been at war for this one frontier city that I couldn't even get at the end. I was very angry.
Dude, there was this small city like wedged in between city states on my side that almost fell to the fucking city states. Like, I don't know what happens when that happens. They stopped fighting it suddenly, so I didn't ever get to see it. They got like halfway dead, and then they just stopped fighting it. And I was like, dude, I should have had people over there. I didn't even think that was possible, that they would lose that badly.
I like they just formed a new city state. Like, all of a sudden, it's Athens 2.0 pops up.
Which, by the way, do you remember what societies we were? Because I think I was like Arabs or something like that.
I think I might have... No, it wasn't Egypt. I don't remember who I was, but it didn't benefit me, whoever I was. I was not using my bonuses well.
I wonder what the tier list for civilizations are. I wonder how many of the S tier civs are like DLC characters, you know?
I don't know. All right, so we kind of jumped right into like our experience with it, but if dear listener know, if you haven't played a Civ game, it is basically like, what if we made a complex video game board game? And that's the whole game. Like, it's all tile based. We take turns. We're moving things around the board. That's the giant world. But it's got video game elements in it, such as like fog of war, resources that you're gaining. And it's like a lot of resources, like thousands of science points that you're generating to the decimal point each turn. Like, there's no way you could keep this on a board game easily.
Yeah, it's like, what if Risk was also 12 other board games at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, there is some minor dice rolling whenever you like attack, but besides that, there's not a lot of luck in this game.
I got fucked by luck. I had it was like a decisive victory, and then I lost. I was like, what? I fucking what? It was like one lonely gunman against like 4 spearmen, and it was like decisive victory, and they killed my dude. I'm like, all right, well, should have thought that one through.
Yeah, and so we start out in caveman days, pretty much, or like prehistoric days. I don't what do you know what they call the timeline? Like
Dark Ages? I don't know.
Is it?
I
Ancient?
get really mixed up with fucking Age of Empires when it comes to that kind of thing. The eras.
Oh yeah. And so we advanced through the years, eventually reaching the I don't know, like post-future era or modern, post-modern future era, maybe like where
I
we're
don't know.
like there's like spaceships and stuff. But
The Jetsons.
the big issue is whenever you're in the ancient era, there's barbarians that just run around. They will mess you up. And I was getting messed up by these barbarians, but Nave was actually getting messed up by them way more than I was.
Oh yeah, there was like 4 barbarian encampments around me, and by the grace of God, the city states came to my rescue. Like I was like I was at total war for the first like
Total War
10% of
every
this
game.
game.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I had to spend most of the game just building a warrior to run out there and die in 2 turns, and then the rest of the time I'm building another warrior. And the whole time I'm like, dude, I am gonna build so many cities. I'm so far behind, and then I did.
Yeah, like I don't know how you got so far ahead after getting hamstrung for the first like 20 turns of the game. It was like you spent 20 turns doing nothing, and I still fell behind.
So one thing that ended up happening, so there were strokes of luck where I eventually, whenever the barbarians started settling down, I started building settlers. I bought a settler right away, I think, which was all of my gold. And then I went out and so I think the civilization next to me lost settlers to those barbarians, but the settlers were just chilling in the fucking overworld, and I just went and got them with a scout. And so I was like, okay, oh my god, I have 2 settlers, like what do I do? And I was building a 3rd settler, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have 4 fucking cities suddenly. And the like usually in these games, your first city is probably going to be your biggest one because the game like balances that, so it makes everyone kind of generally have a really good city, no spawning point, no matter what, unless you make the rules differently. And but like my second city was garbage, and it was like level 5 by the time that we ended the game, and all of my cities were like level 10 or 11. But the 3rd city, the one that I stole from the barbarians, that one ended up being my primary city, where almost all of my like wonders were getting built because it's where all the production was going into. And that's probably what really accelerated me. That, and on top of me forming an alliance with all of the city states around me. But that's probably just because I have 90 hours in this fucking game, and I knew I needed to do that.
I know I got dunked on by you at one point where I'm trying to coordinate with you, and I'm like 10 turns into building the hanging gardens, the wonder, and I'm like, hey, no, don't build the hanging gardens. I'm building it. And you're like, oh, I'm 1 turn away. And then the next turn rolls around, and my half constructed hanging gardens self destructs on my map. And I just watch it fall to pieces. And I'm like, oh my God. I spent 10 turns doing nothing.
That happened another time where you're like, Nave, don't build the what was it? The fucking
It was like the Kremlin or like the Kremlin or something. It was a wonder. I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, it looks like a brown castle. And you're like, I'm 1 turn away from finishing that. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was knocking those wonders out. I was going for culture, but I'm pretty sure I was gonna science it anyways, so it didn't matter.
Now, we played that game and we didn't even really finish it, but it was pretty clear that Nave, no matter what, was going to win it. Because the nation next to me, meanwhile, they were ahead of me, but they were nowhere near Nave's technology or culture, anything like that. And Nave was basically was dominating half the world after wrecking that other guy so much that it was a clear victory pretty much. We didn't finish
Oh,
it.
and I had like 5 spies, and that guy that I was at war with, I had like 5 spies over there, and I was stealing everything. Like I was all this fucking tech was mine. Like it was so bad. If the game would have went on, I was gonna set my sights on that other guy too, because I think that guy technically was making more science than me. It's just that I was like prioritizing like anything that got me towards rocket fuel, or like something that would help me with culture, obviously, like mass communication or something like that.
Yeah. But so we left it at that. I went back the next day and played for another like 4 hours just on my own. I did like the huge world, uh, what's like Earth, real Earth or whatever, where it has like all the continents are shaped like Earth continents. and I played as Africa, or not Africa. I played as Egypt. I even started in Africa, and I'm like, look at all these desert tiles to give me these bonuses. And so I went like full science, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm going to kick some butt. Meanwhile, Gandhi's getting mad because we just keep building next to each other, and then him and this other guy got real mad, and then another guy shows up, and he's like, hey man, you don't have much of a navy, you suck, and he spits on me and denounces me, and I'm like, why does everyone hate me? And I built like one boat, and some random Viking dude that I never even encountered was like, I really like the look of your navy, I like the cut of your jib. And I'm like, thanks man, you're like my only friend. And then next thing I know, our neighbors declared war on me after denouncing me and just swooped in and ran me over, and I could not prevent them from taking my cities. I was very sad. So I lost a single player game.
You got to start like diplomatizing with people like afterwards, like because I think you can talk to them and be like, "Hey, how do you feel about the French?" They're like, "We spit on the French here," and then they're like, "Oh, well, what a coincidence! How about I give you some of this if you declare joint war with me over there?" And usually they don't declare joint war, but they'll denounce people sometimes, which usually turns into war with the computers. They really hate that shit.
Well, while they're at war with me, Gandhi was really pissing people off. And so, like, the world declared war on Gandhi. And it's funny because, like,
World War Gandhi?
Gandhi's the meme character that, like, I think it was the first game. Like, he has the notable bug of was like aggression level 1.
It was 0.
Was 0?
Yeah.
So he would just never lead to war. But if another nation had diplomacy or something like that, a nation that, or not diplomacy, what was it? Oh, democracy. It would like reduce in a non-democratic nation by like -2 on the aggression scale or something like that to make them less aggressive. But because Gandhi was already at 0, it made him like a -2, which made him the most aggressive. Like it like horseshoed back around the other side. And so this became like the notable glitch where Gandhi was like the biggest asshole in the first couple games or something like that.
Classic. Is that a glitch?
Gandhi.
Or is it human nature?
Oh my god, no. Like, watch out for AI, everyone. If it can happen to Gandhi, it can happen to Chat GPT.
There's this AI VTuber. Have you seen it as like Neuro?
No. Who's backing him? Or is it just like an independent thing?
It's like I think it's independent. I think it's just somebody, with an algorithm and yada yada, voice to text modulator and stuff.
Yeah.
And like they have karaoke nights. I don't watch it because it seems sad, like, and boring, because it's usually just like saying random shit. You know what I mean? But people clip it and put that shit up on YouTube, and some of that shit's pretty funny. And they had a karaoke night where they made her sing "Rap God" by Eminem, and I was like, "She's doing it! She's doing it!" I was so impressed because I think they tried to do it again, and it would get fucked because she's not just saying it; it's like she knows somehow they got the pitch in there too. I don't know how they're fucking doing anything, but
I mean, that's pretty cool. If you want to see a not cool version of AI, I forgot what it was called, but there's a Reddit that's just fake Reddit, where it's nothing but like 500 AI bots, all as users, and they're the only ones allowed to post in this subreddit, and they just pretend to be Redditors, and so they make a post and photos and generate and stuff like that, and they comment on each other's stuff, and they each have their own personalities. I wish I knew the name of it. But it's stupid because half of them are just saying nonsense. But it looks like like in the movies where like the hackers are just like have like the green text. It looks like they're like typing a bunch of stuff. It looks like I don't know, a Reddit page when it's just madness.
Do you think that out of all the random shit that they've said, do you think that any of them's brought up civilization?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because we were looking through the Reddit before, and we were just kind of disappointed. It was just a bunch of memes.
Yeah, it's nothing but memes. Just, this guy's playing. He brought his laptop to the gym, and he's on the treadmill playing Civ or something like that. Or here's a guy, like, it's my college professor, and I can see that he has Civ alt tabbed in the background while he's teaching the class. Because people like Civ, and they just can't
Civ's
stop playing.
Perfect game to fucking. I mean, it's hard to put down because it's like it waits for you to play it, but also it's like that one more turn kind of thing. It's a
It
disgusting game for one more
invented the
turn,
one
dude.
more turn. Yeah.
It's
It's like you
painful.
could win the game and it can be like, do you just want to keep playing? I know you won, but do you want to
Yeah,
keep playing some more? Or, and be like, well, now that you say it like that, I don't know. Yeah, let's keep playing.
I guess we could go to Mars. Fuck it.
We don't really have a lot of notes on this one, but I got a lot of Steam reviews that I feel like could raise some good points, some good discussion points. Okay, this first one is from Hank Hell, who has written one review out of his 151 objects he owns. He has 1,017 hours in this game. He posted, I've gone to therapy multiple times to try and break this addiction. I've relapsed approximately 7 times. Brittany, if you're reading this, can I please give visitation with the kids?
This is posted 18 days ago.
Yes, this is very recent. But this is also like the top rated review out of like all the reviews, like everything. This is so recent, but people just upvoted this thing all the way up.
Yeah, he's since played 17 more hours of the game. So he's back in it, baby.
Man, that's the point though, is like when I was playing by myself, I felt it. Like I'm like, I could keep playing this. The problem is like I'm already committed. Like I already have so many other games I want to play. But if this was the only game I had to play for like a year, I could play this game and probably still be happy. It's like if you have a desert island game or something, like reference desert island games, this could be a desert island game for me, and I could play the crap out of it. I could play
Could be
this
your
for
rock
1,000
band.
hours. It could, like, I could play the crap out of this. Am I going to play the crap out of this? Well, we'll have to get in the final words. But I think Hank Hill raises a lot of good points there with that one.
Did he raise any points?
Just that it's really addictive.
All right, this one's by Ali. 7 reviews, yada yada. 100 hours at the review time, 186 now. But this was 2 years ago. 3 years ago. I don't know how to count. And it says they still haven't added Austria, but that's fine. It's not like I'm entirely dependent on Austria for happiness or anything. Good game aside from the absence of Austria. It's really weird because my name's Austin, so it makes me want to say that. But it would be nice if they added Austria, but I don't really care or anything like that. It's just that I thought it might help the game. I don't need Austria. I'm fine.
Dave, do you have a favorite race in the game or nation?
Japan?
Japan?
I was going to say no, but yeah, I would like to play Japan almost every game. But that's just because
What's their bonus?
I have no idea. They look cool.
You just like them thematically.
Yeah. It's like you play Japan in Age of Empires, you get like samurai, so I'm sure you get like, mid-game melee units. You know what I mean?
I don't know, maybe you get like Zero Fighters or something. Like in the
I don't know if they'd put that in the game. I don't know if that's what they want.
Like, I mean, World War II was a big thing, there was a lot going on.
Are you sure it was a big thing? I haven't heard too much about it recently.
Oh my god, like there was that whole Midway situation and Pearl Harbor. There's a lot going on.
What is the gaming publisher Midway, now defunct, have anything to do with what we're talking about?
No, like Midway, there was like a big battle, right? Where like Japan was like whooping the U.S., but then the U.S. just happened to find them refueling or something like that, just out in one of their like air bases on one of the islands. Like I don't remember the exact details, but the U.S. just like bombed them, like bombed the crap out of them before they even took off, and it was like a terrible defeat for the Japanese.
Isn't that like a video game? Like Battle Stations Midway on the Xbox 360? I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
They get samurai, I was right. And also the Infrastructure Electronics Factory.
Okay, so the Battle of Midway was a World War II naval battle, fought mostly with aircraft, where the United States destroyed Japanese first-line carrier strength and most of its trained naval pilots.
I was correct. Midway Games is defunct.
Oh my god.
12 years ago.
We're discussing different points.
That's not edited. That one we fucking seesawed back and forth between all of that. We're fucking idiots. It's your turn to read.
Oh, I'm just
what are you reading about Midway? Oh my god.
Yeah. Why did the Japanese lose in Midway? The Japanese naval staff fell prey to every one of Janus's deadly sins of organized decision-making.
Who's Janice?
I don't know. Groupthink and doublethink prevailed, absent a skeptic contrast to assumptions underlying the war games.
Holy fuck.
What is the... Who wrote this? It's from nationalinterest.org. I don't know.
We're about to go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't want to back up whatever that website is, but I'll read the next one. This one's from Hellraiser, another Hell, who only has written one review on his whole Steam account.
Maybe it's a pattern, Hell can't write. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
He has 765 hours on record with a recommend. By the way, these are all recommends. This game is very well recommended. There's like no one that doesn't like this game. He says, great way to time travel. You start playing on Friday, and after one more turn, it's Sunday.
Yeah, it's like waiting in fucking Fallout.
Yeah, you just sit down and it's already, oh, we're here. Yeah, the game goes by fast. And you were talking about how like the game waits for you to take your turn. Whenever I was playing this, like you still had it running in the background. And so like I was home with Arthur, just playing with him and stuff. I would grab the controller, I would do my turn, I would end it, and then I would go back to playing with Arthur or whatever. And because he's, an infant, he just kind of like bangs cups together. So I just got to make sure he's not banging them too hard.
Glass cups.
Yeah, no glass cups. No sticking things in power outlets type of deal. So while I'm, watching him, make sure he's not doing anything crazy. Like I'm just playing this and time goes by pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is a really good podcast game too.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like music game.
Listen to a lot of Dungeons and Daddies while I was playing.
All right, next one, Virgin Boy. 415 hours on record. Very good game. Sadly, it helps you remain a virgin.
He also had one review, by the way. I don't know if you said that part.
Only one review.
Yep.
Unlike this next one.
Oh, this one? All right. From Glimbo the Goblin.
Whoa.
Great name.
The Glimbo.
The Glimbo. 37 hours on record. Recommend. Says, landed on Mars as the communist Jewish Aztecs in 1955.
Historically accurate?
Yeah, this game is in fact not historically accurate, but that's fine. It's kind of fun. It's like an alternate history take on it, You can be communist Jewish Aztecs and land on Mars.
Yeah, or like, invent gunpowder weaponry before you know the wheel.
Dude. Yeah, like while I was scrolling Reddit looking for anybody to have any insane thoughts about this game, there was none. People will highlight like, oh, I'm developing future technologies, but I discovered nuclear weaponry, but I still haven't discovered military tactics. So I have not unlocked spears yet, but we have nuclear weapons based on how, like, I don't know. You can do some really goofy stuff with the tech tree.
I don't know. I just like a game that has like this set rules and like they're just like, okay, we trust you, player. Go do the thing. It's like Tears of the Kingdom's kind of like that. Where it's like, oh, just here's the rules and just go have fun. Go figure it out.
Play around. Have a
See
good time.
how things interact.
Now we kind of brush past like the actual like co-op experience of this a little bit. So like when we were playing co-op, there was not much we were really doing to interact with each other. But I feel like we have such a small data set that we would have to play more games to really identify how cooperative this is. Nave, how much have you played with like actual, other humans in this game? Or do you mostly just play?
I always play this alone, but I've played one game with Dontre and Jesse, and I was doing so much better. It's always that problem where it's like they see how I'm doing because we were playing Hot Seat, and they were just like, "All right, we're done. You're gonna win, dude." And I was like, "No,
like a Monopoly thing.
I promise."
Well, I promise I'll save you for last.
I can just there is a way to set up teams. I just can't remember. It's on the fucking menu when you start the game, but it's like I think so. Here's the thing. All right. in order to set up teams, I think you need a specific like tech unlocked. I think you need a specific like building or whatever, and then you can set up teams. So I think the reason why it's in the menu is because before you set up the game, you can choose what era you start in. You know what I mean? So if you
Yeah.
start in an era where you have that kind of communication, then you can like become teammates or whatever. You can become allies in the game like whenever you find each other, which me and Philip didn't find each other until after I was shooting people with guns. And Philip was getting shot with guns. But
Yeah,
Philip did not in fact
classic.
have guns. It took his little boat like 10 years to get across that ocean.
Yeah. No, more than that. In game, it took him 300 years to cross the ocean.
I don't know. It's not like Age of Empires where you just go, we're blue, you guys are red, and then that's the thing. So I at least I couldn't figure that out like right away. So we just kind of, because it was like, again, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna know not to shoot you. That's all I have to do.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Like, I'm the Welshman or something. I don't even remember what I was.
Yeah, I don't know either. I wish we'd fucking wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, but with that, I don't think I have any more meat points.
I mean, this game's fucking really, really, really good. So I mean, like, it's fucking crack, and it's scary because I was sitting there wondering if I was gonna start playing it again, and I knew it's like, okay, I've got to start playing Turok. I need to refresh myself with Cult of the Lamb. And it's like I've got like these other like obligations. I'm like, I can't get fucking, and I'm already obligated to Cookie Clicker right now. And it's like
You're obligated to Cookie Clicker.
it's run. I've been playing it this whole fucking episode. I've been playing that fucking game. It's like this game is crack cocaine almost. Where
You think what is it that makes this game hook you so hard?
I
Not to
think it's
break
that
your point too hard.
you're so involved with so many different things. It's a organizational kind of thing, but it's also like an exploratory kind of thing, and it's procedural. So it's like procedural. It's procedural. So like it's always ever shifting and changing, and there's so many different like nuanced little things that are happening around like what you're doing that interact with your stuff in a specific way. Like there's an expansionist mentality to it that like tickles a part of your brain. It's like it touches so many different nerves simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that the game waits on you, and also it's like there is a set limit. Like there's a set like end point, which makes it to like you can see the next end point, that next inch, you know what I mean? Like that next increment that you can go, and like I can do another one. It's not that late, kind of fucking, it's like I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's intense for people like me.
I think you hit the nail on it. Like this game, you think, oh, it's like a super complex board game. I'm a big dum-dum. This game will hold your hand and tell you exactly what you need to do. This isn't like Magic the Gathering where it's like, oh, we're playing competitive or something like that, and you're like, oh, I forgot to activate my token on my upkeep, so now I don't get a 1/1 Rose Thorn whatever bullshit, and I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, I'll let you go back in time and do this. No, the game will be like, hey man, the city states, like, you got a new emissary, you should send it to the city states. You're like, you're right, I should send it to the city states. It's like, hey man, you finished your technology, pick a new one, and you're like, oh, you're right, thank you.
Yeah, like, well, hey, the good thing about it on console is that there's a dedicated button to this is what's on the agenda. It's like and then it like kind of almost prioritizes stuff too. You know what I mean?
Because like science is of course number one. Ooh, getting tired. It's so late. By the way, we were recording at like 10 o'clock at night. This is like one of our latest episodes.
I'm fucking tired too. I'm running out of steam.
But like it'll be like science, culture, government. Susan training with the city states or whatever.
Yeah, and then it's the lonely fucking spearman out in the fucking wilderness that he forgot about.
Yeah, the one that's been fighting barbarians for 20 years.
He comes back and you have airplanes.
Yeah.
He's like, what has happened?
Always a great goof when the ancient era stuff starts clashing with modern eras.
It's funny too because you can like upgrade your troops, so it's like you got the bowmen, you can upgrade them to the riflemen, and it's like here, you can just give them a gun. They're like, what the fuck? What is this? And they just are good with it.
Mine was I forgot what it was, but my naval was like pretty advanced, like as far as my technology wise. So I had like pirates or pirate privateers, and then I
Yeah.
advanced into the next age, and I was able to convert all my privateers into submarines. And so I had submarines with my crossbowmen, with with my cannons. So maybe I just went down a poor tech tree, but my submarines were out there pillaging, like they were wrecking people. And the submarines count as range troops too, so they can hit people on land, but they still fire torpedoes even though they're on land. So
Yeah.
it like launches through the ground and hits them, which I'm like, damn, that's metal as hell.
Do
It's
you I just had a thought. Like, do you want to talk about like the differences between this and Civ 5 and Civ Revolution, which is probably the three games we have the most thing with? Because the main thing I was thinking of when you were talking about that was how cool it is that how you make roads in this game compared to the other games.
oh yeah, there are quite a few differences that we could hit on. I think the biggest ones we don't want to go. I don't think we need to go super in depth with this because
Yeah.
maybe we'll do an episode on Civ 5 someday. But um, the big thing I saw was like builders expire after like 3 uses. You but cities can build districts in their zones opposed
Yeah.
to just buildings, I guess.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, because like you needed builders to build most of the tile based like exploiters, I guess. Like you
Yeah.
needed to
Well,
build the mines or the farms with the
and it's
builders.
like the districts work because like before you would build like the academy and like the fucking the brothel, whatever the fuck you're building. I can't remember any of them. But like but now you build the district for science, and that's where the university goes and stuff like. And then you do that with the market and with all the other things, and that makes like different cities kind of specialized a little bit. Where like the workers go away, but before like in Civ Revolution and Civ 5, you use the workers to build the roads. Like you
Yeah,
specifically go to the town, and you like put a road here. And now in the game, you use traders to build roads. Like you sending a trader out between one of your cities to the other one is what builds the road, which makes sense when you think
that's
about it like
much
historically.
better.
It's
Much
so
better
flavorful.
thematically.
Yeah, it's so good. Like that's probably the
It,
coolest thing that I
the other
can
thing
think
is
of off
like
the top of my head.
they do better like once they set up a trade point in a city, they will make more money in that city too. So if like you
Yeah.
keep sending them to the same place, and it's also faster because there's a road there now. So I don't know, it is a lot more interesting because before you could build caravans in Revelation and 5 or Revolution, but they were mostly just like quick cash grabs. They're like investments pretty much. Let's
I don't know.
see. Other major differences, religion doesn't seem as much of as a feature because it was a whole DLC in 5 and it was like pretty strong. At least I thought it was pretty
Yeah,
strong. In
I
this
don't
one, it
know.
does not seem as strong.
I've never tried it before, but like, yeah, religion's a really cool thing, like a cool way to like think about playing the game. But I've never actually like committed to it. It's similar to the cultural thing where I always end up with science anyways. Or like I'll get into a war with somebody and I'll end up with such a huge military that I'm just like, well, I guess I'm just killing everyone now. Fuck it. I'm a warmonger.
Yeah,
Everyone's mad at me anyway.
I don't know. And culture seems so cool too because I really like culture in I think it was Revolution, where you could take over city just by being the dominant culture of the area. Like the
Yeah.
city would just be like, "Oh, I'm on your side now," just because you were that I don't know, your culture was that dominant in
Influential.
the area, yeah, that influential, that a whole city just converted and switched nations. Which that would seem so insane to me. Like I
Well,
don't
I
even
think
know.
that's kind of that happens in history, right? Like before like modern era and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's how the Soviet Union or something like that happened, right?
I
Didn't
don't
a
know. We
lot
are
of the
once
things within
again,
the Soviet Union? Yeah, we're wandering into territory we don't know anything about, but I think
yeah,
I think a lot of the city states were like that because it's like a lot of the stuff with like Estonia and stuff like that. Like they speak Russian and everything, but they're in a different place. But they're still in that area where it used to be Russia. They're just a new country. It's like so weird because we're in America. We have no fucking idea of what that's
oh yeah,
like
our country's
because
only 400 years old.
yeah, and our country's as big as Europe times five or something. Like we got some weird shit going on over here on our own, but it's like, yeah, I think that's like something that kind of happened.
I was just trying to imagine it on our scale or from our reference point. Like imagine we just had I don't know, a city next. We have Eagle Pass in Texas. It's right on the border with Mexico. And one day there's just some banging cultural, I don't know, like burritos that were made in Mexico that were so good
What
that
is that
Eagle
meme
Pass.
music?
What?
The
Which one?
meme?
What? La Cucaracha?
No, no. It's an old meme. I can't remember what it's called. Whatever.
And it just converts over, and part of it's now Mexico or something like that. The border shifts.
I googled meme Mexican music and it just said loud Mexican music. This is all the videos. Like, that's not what I wanted. It's something like that.
Oh god.
Despacito. That's what I'm thinking
Oh,
of.
Despacito.
Despacito 3 gets invented, and then suddenly, El Paso, Texas is fucking
Just
Mexico's
converts.
now. Is Despacito even Mexican? Did I just racism?
I don't know. See, that's the problem too. Is like, oh god, I saw a meme where it was like a sad little white boy, and it's like, "Mommy, the Puerto Ricans are playing their music really loudly at the beach or something like that." And one of my best bros when I was working on the flight line was like from Puerto Rico, and he even like barely speaks English. And I send him the meme. I'm like, "Yo, check this out," and he's like, "Yo, we be doing that though."
Yeah, I did do a
He's like,
racism. He is Puerto Rican, this guy. I don't even know what the song sounds like, so. Oh well.
"Oh well, good stuff though." All right, are you ready to wrap this up, or do you have any more me points?
Are we do it? I thought we were in the
Oh, is this
final
final
words
words?
already.
All right, skip the break. This is final words. So yeah, my final words for this game. It's going to be a hard recommend for me. I really want to play more of this, but I don't think I have the time commitment right now to really sink my teeth into it. Sadly, I think I might have to skip 6 and just wait for 7 to come out or something like that in 5 more years, whenever that one comes out. Or when it's already on sale though. I don't
It's
know,
on
man.
Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. It's on sale. I could even pick up the DLCs. Probably wouldn't be that bad. The DLCs are probably on sale, but just the time it takes to play these games, I don't think I have it in me. And there's so many other games I want to play because I know what Civ is like, and I enjoy the exercise of doing it. This is what gets me when people play like I don't know, like golf or something like that in real life. Like once you play a course of golf, like I get that you get better each time, or you like try to get better and you enjoy doing it. But at some point, you're playing the same game over and over again. You know, like at some point with Civ, even though everything is so randomized and it's like a new experience every time, a lot of it is the same bones every time. Oh, what a bold start! I'm gonna build an explorer. Oh, bold start! I'm going for pottery next and animal husbandry. Like, yeah, we do these same steps every time, and I can't do that right now, but I recommend this game to anybody else. It's on Game Pass. Go try it. I saw whenever I was reading the Reddit reviews, a lot of people were talking about the Switch port is actually not bad on the stinky Switch. Like this game could be a good
Oh,
Switch
that's
game.
scary.
Like to just have it sitting there right in your lap. You could put on any TV show and you can just do one more turn all day long.
That's
All right,
fucking
what about you?
horrifying. I know who this game is not for, and that is for people who try to get all the achievements in games. Because oh my god, these fucking achievements are specific and hard. And RNG based and stuff like that. I'm sure you can like force achievements, but the game itself is incredible. And I'm anti Philip. I think that this is the turn based nature of this game really lends itself to being kind of like a background game at all times, especially having it on a Switch. I was thinking of the opposite because I would play this on the Xbox and play like Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch or Valhalla, and just kind of when my ADHD kind of like is like, okay, I don't want to read for like 5 minutes anymore. Instead of check my phone, just finish half of my turn in Civ and then be like, all right, well that was good, productive. Let's fucking do this thing. And maybe you could use something like this to kind of drag you off of social media for a little bit. I didn't have a phone for 24 hours, so I'm like definitely thinking about how much I didn't give a fuck about Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. I was like, oh, wow. The only thing I care about is like I lost my pictures. I'm sad. I wish I uploaded those. But this kind of thing it's scary for somebody who has that kind of addictive personality, which I do a little bit. I'm still playing Inscription in the background. I just stopped talking about it. Which everyone needs to play that game as well. I think I gotta recommend this, is even if it ends up making you have to go to rehab. That's it. That's the end of it.
Okay. Well, for the record, a lot of that you're doing the low upload rate thing where you were. I could not understand most of what you're saying, but I think you said a lot of important things that really, I respect you for your bold statements. Like a strong cup of coffee really woke me up and made me realize things about this game that I did not think about before. Good work, Nave.
I'm
But
checking
what
my
are we playing?
internet speed now.
Oh, you gotta do a speed test.
Yeah. 298 download, 15.8 upload.
Oh,
That was
you're all
weird.
good then.
maybe I just dipped. That's okay.
Hey,
I can dip
just
in
had a
low
dip.
quality.
Just had a dip. Or maybe it was
I
me.
just needed to know if I needed to scream at dude, because I am like, the whole time I was sitting at AT&T, by the way, getting my new phone. Did I mention I have a new phone, Philip? I was
Yes.
sitting at AT&T. They also are doing that little, we talked about this a couple episodes ago, like these phone companies are doing the 5G uplink fucking internet kind of thing. That's what
Yeah.
you're using at your house now. And every single phone call that came in was talking about their internet, and like 4 of the like 8 people that were there talking about their internet. And I was dealing with the internet problems there, and I was like, do I bring it up to this guy, because he's definitely going to try and sell this internet to me, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I ended up not doing it, but I was like, if I go home and my internet's still fucked, oh boy. I'm like, well, I'm on the edge because I'm already mad at Cox. I liked them because they had the funny name, and it's the only fucking internet service provider that serviced my apartment complex at the time when I had to get internet. But
Which that seems like the
boy,
biggest scam, Like the only cable one, like we have Spectrum, and that's the only cable one we can get on base. It's the only service we get, unless we want to do what we're doing and ditch the cable and
yeah, it's
connect to
fucked
the
up.
satellites.
Maybe I'm voting for Bernie Sanders this next fucking election
Oh
just
my
because I hate internet service providers
god!
that much.
I don't think,
That
is
guy
that a
hates him
thing?
too. I don't know.
Oh, does
I
he?
don't know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
god!
Is he even still alive? I haven't seen
Oh no!
anything about that guy.
All right, Nave, what are we playing next week?
Uh, I don't know. I
Well,
try to think
Nave.
of a joke.
So, like, I'm still gonna be on vacation for another week. Like, we were here for one of my nephew's birthday parties, and it got pushed down a couple days, so we're gonna stay a couple extra days. So we're not gonna really have time to play anything. So I thought, let's do a mobile game since you got a fancy new $1 million phone.
I do.
So I put out like 3 games to you. I'm like, we should play either Dragon Ball Legends. It has a built-in co-op mode. Pretty simple. I've been talking about this game for years. I've never uninstalled it. Yeah, I've always had it. Uh, Genshin Impact, which is not something that comes up very often, even though it is like one of the most popular games out there today. It's like ranked number 6 on Twitch or something like that. People love the crap out of that game. I don't know anything about it, but we should play it at some point because I think it's co-op. That
The
or like,
awesome fucking Maxor video on it. I think there's 2 of them now. Everyone got to go fucking see that. That's the guy
is
that
it
made the
is it
awesome.
funny or educational?
It's funny. It's fucking. Well, it's funny if loud and fast cuts is funny. It's the same guy that made that Yakuza Zero
Oh yeah,
synopsis, and he also made the Metal Gear Revengeance, the sources, I made it the fuck up. That's him. That's his fucking video.
yes.
I'm gonna need a source on that, Senator. That's meme is from him. That is not an actual. That meme was so good that people started mistaking it for an actual line in the game for a while.
It could be a line in the game though.
Yeah, it's such a good game. What was the third game?
The third one I was thinking is like we just play some Wild Rift because we've talked about League of Legends multiple times. I think we've talked about Pokemon Unite, but what's the crossover between Pokemon Unite and League of Legends? It's Wild Rift.
Yes,
Yes,
we chose
but
Dragon Ball.
yeah, we're gonna do Dragon Ball. We can definitely do the others now that Nave has a more advanced phone, but that isn't gonna salami his fingers whenever he moves his fingers. Have you done any Dragon Balling yet?
Yes, and I'm gonna have to say that the beginning of this game lit absolute fucking torturous anger in my fucking stomach because it is such a mobile game.
Dude, it's such a mobile game. It has gotten worse over the years. Like, we'll definitely talk about it more in the episode. But the amount of newcomer benefits, welcome back things,
Oh god.
5th year anniversary. Don't forget Black Friday's coming up. Like, all of these things are popping up, and you're getting tons and tons of currency. It used to not be this bad back when there was only like 2 Goku units. But now there's like 17 different Goku units, each of the different like flavors. Where we got base Goku, we got Goku with his shirt ripped off, we got Goku with half his shirt ripped off, we got Goku where he's Kaioken times 2, times 3, and times 10. Like it just keeps going.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, you're gonna have to explain this game to me when we first start playing it because I just started skipping everything. I'm so done with fucking reading. Everything.
Like once you get to like after like level 3 of like the story mode, I think it's maybe like level 5. It'll give you the ability to just auto battle, where you just hit the button and just plays for you.
Yeah, well, the fighting is interesting. It's just that like the fucking tutorialization of everything, and it's like like you got to use this energy, and now you can level up your character, and here's the skill tree, and now you can use different abilities. You can use these abilities with these little like this different like type of energy, and then you get this kind of energy, and now you can unlock different characters. And now do you have a favorite character? You can put them on there, but only the characters you have unlocked. So fuck you if you like Yamcha, and it's like there's so many fucking things. I was just skipping everything. I have no idea what the fuck's going on anymore. There's like character levels, and then there's your level, and then there's a different kind of level, and then there's like this third. I'm like, there's a battle. Like, I don't fucking understand anything.
Dude, there's so many different bullshit that goes into leveling up a character, and they added a new one since I've been gone. I came back and they had a whole new system just stacked onto it, and I'm like, whew, because I know that they have already previously stacked 2 other systems onto these characters because they're like, players are reaching max level. They're not spending money anymore. We need something for the whales to spend money on. Throw another level system on top of it. And then they throw another level system on top of it. And when I saw that, I'm just like, I can't do this.
Since you've been gone.
Yeah, I know. Since I've been gone, this game has gotten worse. But I definitely want you to at least get some units. Like, just go in there and like, oh man, I'm going to have to walk you through it probably. Because there's so much bullshit everywhere. But
don't worry, I got 100 million Zinni now because of the fucking welcome bonus or whatever the fuck.
Zinni's worth nothing these days. Like,
yeah, I noticed.
The first but there's been so much hyperinflation that Zinni is nothing. God, makes me mad just thinking about it.
700 quadrillion Zinni is 1 sensu bean. Which, by the way, dude, when I bought the fucking, so I bought those fucking Galaxy Buds or whatever the fuck, and I asked him about it. I was like, "Would you recommend them?" And he's like, "Hey, have you seen Dragon Ball Z?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, they look like sensu beans." And then you're like, "You want to play Dragon Ball Z video game? Now your phone's good." And I just realized that he was like, and that's what sold me. I was like, "Oh yeah, cool, sensu beans, whatever. You put them in my cart. I don't give a fuck."
You got the beans?
Yeah, sensu bean. Abridged. Okay.
All right, but you're going to have to play some on your own just to get some characters, so we can play the co-op mode together,
and not be generic, shitty Amnesia Saiyan.
Oh my God, Shallot, yeah.
Whose fucking name is terrible. All right.
All right, let's end this. Thanks for joining us this week's co-op partners. Maybe next time we can all nuke Gandhi together.
Or die to barbarians. Question mark.
Bye.